Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a live cooking show where I am cooking for the meditation center here, Sirimangalo International, and today we are making a tofu stir fry from start to finish. No edits, live, so you can follow along. Alright, so we're going to first start with preheating our oven, and I'm going to use this cooking pan, and I'm going to line it with some parchment paper. And I'm going to start prepping the tofu. So we have some extra firm tofu. And I'm just going to drain the tofu and dry it with some paper towels. I don't have this cloth, I'll use this cloth. Got this drying cloth here. Alright, so I'm cooking for 3, 4, 6, 5 or 6 people. 6 people, including myself. Okay. And so this tofu is, because it's packed in water, I want to just squeeze a lot of that excess water out. Now I'm using the extra firm tofu. I guess you could use the firm tofu as well. I just don't want it to fall apart. So that's why I'm opting for the extra firm. Okay. That's good enough. It doesn't need to be super dry or anything. Okay. And I'm going to cut this up, and how I'm going to do this, I'm going to cut it lengthwise once. And then I'm going to make them into little squares. So I think I'm going to cut them in half, and then I'm going to cut them into quarters evenly, and then I'm going to do eighths. So they're about half an inch or so thick. And just like that, I'm going to lay them on my cookie sheet. So for this stir fry, I have a bunch of veggies that I'm going to use, and it's usually what I have in my kitchen already. So, but I can also show you or share with you other veggies that you could use if you wanted to. But I kind of just stick with the same, kind of stick with the routine. Like lengthwise. some more room. And then I'm going to sprinkle some olive oil on the tofu. And I have my oven set to air fry. Now, if you don't have an air fry oven, which is kind of a new thing, and it's kind of amazing, I'm not going to lie, you can just set your oven to 375 or 400. Okay, so I have some olive oil. Now, this olive oil bottle has this little pop-up spout. I find that so helpful in making sure you don't overdo it with the oil, even though I'm kind of overdoing it right now. It's okay. Olive oil is a healthy fat, so we can use that. I like to go one step further and use this silicone brush and just kind of brush it so it's nice and even. This is going to add some flavor, some crispiness to it, and some, of course, healthy fat. Fat is essential, actually. That's why they call it essential fatty acids. Okay. And now I'm going to just add some pink Himalayan sea salt. Generous amount, because tofu is pretty bland. Alright, and I'm going to do some cracked black pepper. And just like that, I'm going to pop it in the oven, and probably for about 40 minutes, but you can check with your own oven. And I want it to be crispy on the outside and somewhat tender on the inside. Okay, so now that that's cooking, it's important to get that in the oven first. And now let's clean this up a little bit. We're going to start with chopping our veggies. So, veggies, I have some bowls here. All right, so we got an onion. Let's chop this onion. Get the skin out of the way. And I think I'm just going to slice them lengthwise so I get sort of like a julienne effect. So somewhat chunky. All right, so they're kind of like these. And then I'm also going to chop up my mushrooms, and I think I'm going to just do similar. I've already removed all the stalks, and I'm just going to slice them into half-inch strips. am actually going to cook the onions and the mushrooms together. So that's something you should note. So I'm putting them all in the same bowl. I'm also going to cook. I also have a little bit of ginger. So I'm just going to peel this guy. Of course, you can use a peel, or you could just easily scrape off the skin. And I'm going to do matchsticks with this, with the ginger. And if you don't know what matchsticks are, they look like matchsticks. And I did it on the carrots in the last video. So again, I'm going to first I was getting a phone call in the middle of this. Okay. So I'm cutting with the grain, along the grain. And then I'm going to stack them. So that I get little matchsticks. Okay, and I'm also going to put this in the same bowl with my onions and mushrooms. Again, I'm cooking them together. Now I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to chop up the rest of my veggies. I'm going to start with celery. Cut off the ends. Make sure they're washed. And I like to cut these so you have the little scoop, right? And I like to kind of put it on its side and then cut at a diagonal so you have these sort of shapes. So I like to kind of play around and use interesting shapes. About 1/2 inch thick. Put that in the bowl. Do my zucchini. Cut off the ends. And for the zucchini, I think I'm going to cut it down lengthwise. And then I'm going to kind of do like this irregular shape where I'm just going to kind of cut at an angle on one side and then an angle on the other. Again, about 1/2 inch thick. So you get these interesting irregular sizes. I'm going to cut this pepper, and for the pepper, I'm going to do julienne slices. So just lengthwise, again about 1/2 inch thick. I got my couple of carrots. Peel that. Ah. Because I'm cooking for many people, and lots of people have their own sort of tastes and preferences, I tend to make my food pretty basic and simple, nothing too spicy, nothing crazy flavorful, but still delicious and healthy. Okay, so, and then for the carrots, I'd like to, how should we do this, carrots? I think I'm going to slice them at a diagonal. Yeah, let's do that. Start at the big end here, about ½ inch, a little less than ½ inch. Put that in a bowl. Yeah. Stir fry is usually the fastest thing to make because you're really just flash frying them in the pan. So for the broccoli, I'll cut off the stalk, remove the leaves, and I love the stalk as well. So I'm gonna try to use some of it. I'm gonna cut this in half so we still have some nice white in the middle. Then I just take off the hard layer of skin here. And then I'm going to just julienne that, because why not? And for the broccoli florets, I like to make them bite-sized, but I also like them kind of long. So just split them in half. And I think I'm going to actually use this in a different bowl. I think I'm going to add the carrots in here. And I think I'm going to put the broccoli in here. Second bowl. The stalk of the broccoli is actually super, super healthy, nutritious, packed full of vitamins and minerals. So, maybe too much mushroom. Okay. I need another bowl. Lastly, I have some green beans. I'm just going to kind of stuff them. And just take off the ends. So for stir fries, I cook the veggies. I put in the veggies at different times. I cook them at different times because each different veggies kind of take different time. Have different cook times. So I place them in the bowl strategically. So it's based on when I'm going to be putting them in, and not just some random put everything into a bowl kind of thing. There's a method to my madness. Okay, almost there. Okay, it's done. And it looks like, I think I'm going to add one more ingredient. This one is going to be the little miniature cobs of corn or baby corn in a can, packed in water. I'm just going to spill everything. I'm going to drain that. And I'm just going to cut this in half. I love adding baby corn to stir fry. Gives it this interesting texture. Even though baby corn is kind of flavorless, to be honest. Okay, now that we have our veggies cut, I am ready to do some stir frying. So let's move the camera so I can show you what I'm doing. Turn this on. I'm going to turn this on to about number 6 on my dial, which is, I guess, like a medium to high. I'm going to use coconut oil for this. Alright, so I'm preheating my pan. So it's important to preheat your pan before adding in the oil. This prevents sticking. There's a question in the chats that's asking me how many servings is this going to make. This is going to make about 6 servings, I would say. Okay, so I got a tablespoon of oil, coconut oil, now that it's nice and hot-ish, not too hot. We don't want it like smoking hot, but just hot enough that it's going to melt the oil. I just like to put my spoon in the pan and then let it melt off of my spoon. like that. Again, I'm using coconut oil because it is a healthy fat to cook with. It has a high burn temperature. So never cook with canola oil or vegetable oil, corn oil. Those are not great. All right, I'm gonna get my spatula. All right, and now that that's hot, I'm going to put in my onions, mushrooms, and garlic, and ginger, rather. And these are what I call my aromatics. So the onion and the ginger, and we're going to add some garlic as well, is going to give it a lot of flavor. I add the mushrooms because I don't want the mushrooms to be overcooked um, in the rest of the stir fry. Because once I'm done with the aromatics, I'm actually going to remove them from the pan and stir fry the other veggies separately so that the aromatics don't burn. Of course, I'm going to add salt and pepper. The mushrooms are really going to absorb the oil in here, so the pan will start to look a little dry, and that's okay. Just keep stirring, that's the important thing. A lot of the juices from the onions will start to come out, as you can hear. Just make sure that the onions are broken up, and you keep stirring, hence stir fry. It's important that you don't burn anything. That's looking good. I think now is a good time to add in my chopped minced garlic. So I have about a tablespoon. I like to use the pre-chopped ones because I use it so often. I literally use it with almost everything. And I'm going to mix that in. Incorporate the garlic. And now that's it. This is the aromatic is done, and I'm going to remove it from the heat. Place it in the same little bowl that I had earlier, just so that the veggies in here are nice and soft. Okay. There. So now I'm gonna. If you want to start with a new pan, you can. I don't. It doesn't necessarily have to. I'm gonna use another tablespoon of coconut oil. if you can see. All right, I'm going to put in my mixed veggies except for the broccoli and green beans. So everything but that. And the corn I still have out. And now we're going to stir fry these veggies. Did not look right. So colorful. And again, I'm going to season this with some salt and pepper. Just to coat the veggies lightly. Let me check on my tofu. Looks good. Okay. I think I'm going to turn off my oven. And just let it sit in there. Okay. Let that cook a little bit. I think I'm going to take the tofu out. Let's take a look. Oh, no, it definitely needs more time. It's still not very crispy. So this dish is vegan and gluten-free. And yeah, but if you want, you can always add chicken. You can always add, beef. Okay. So what was that? We cooked that for 4 minutes or so now. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to now add my broccoli and green beans. Again, I'm going to salt those veggies. Of course, black pepper. Oh, I should have cut those green beans in half. Oh well. Stir this in. So what other veggies could you use in this stir fry? Um, Sometimes I like bamboo shoots, which are in a can that you can find, similar to the baby corn. You could use asparagus spears, those being nice in here. But I think this is a good mixture. Celery, peppers, zucchini, carrots, green beans, and broccoli. Really fun. It's good. Keep stirring. Let that cook. Alright, so I have a little bowl of cold water, and I'm going to make my thickening sauce, and I'm going to use, you can use cornstarch, but I also like to use arrowroot starch. So about 2 tablespoons in cold water, and just mix that up and set it aside. So about 2 tablespoons of starch to 2 tablespoons of water, and make sure it's cold water and not hot water. Continue to stir fry, of course. I think it's just time to add in my corn now, just to heat it up. Look how beautiful that looks. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to add my soy sauce. This is the wheat-free organic tamari. So about 2 tablespoons-ish, 3 tablespoons maybe. I don't measure anything. And now I think it's a good time to add back the aromatics. Mix that in. Now, I said that this serves 6, but I mean, if you have 2 people or 4 people, this makes great leftovers. I always cook batch cooking so that we could always save some for another day. Day that we don't want to cook. All right, so let that cook down some more. Oh yeah, freaking good. I really should have cut these zucchini pieces in half. They're too long. Okay, now that that's nicely incorporated, I'm going to add 2 cups of vegetable broth, or about half a container. Maybe not even that much. Maybe, yeah, that's And now we're going to bring that broth to a boil. Of course, continue stirring in. Let's see. Tofu's looking good. Now that the broth is hot, but not too hot, not a rapid boil or anything, I'm going to mix the slurry up again, this thickening agent. You can see it's all settled down at the bottom, so it's very important that you mix it so it's nicely incorporated with the water, and then dump that in, and then quickly stir this together. This will help thicken the broth, create a nice gravy. Yeah. Oh yeah. That looks delicious. Okay. Let's now take this out. Let's take it. Oh yeah. So it's not as crispy as I'd like it to be, but I'm kind of running out of time and I have to. Okay, I'm gonna turn down this because this is done. Look how amazing that looks. Oh my goodness. You guys. Alright, so now I'm going to just place all the tofu right inside. And of course the parchment paper makes it super easy to clean. Okay, there. There we go. I'm going to mix in this tofu so that it's covered with the gravy. Incorporate that into the stir fry. And 2 more ingredients before I finish this delicious stir fry is I like to add some salted cashews. Okay, Where are they? Here we go. Of course, you don't have to use the salted version, but I'll add about a cup cashews. You guys, oh my goodness. This is so good, and it's done. Look at that. Turn off the heat, plate some rice, scoop up some stir fry. And I said there were two more ingredients, so the cashew is the first one. And I like to, you can garnish with some fresh parsley or even cilantro if you would like cilantro. If it doesn't taste like, dirty feet to you, then go ahead and add it. Or you can just add some, do I have some? Yeah, just some white sesame seeds. As a little garnish. Done. What do you guys think? That is all, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I hope this was helpful and delicious. And please leave some comments down below what you thought of this recipe, and stay tuned for some more recipes. Thanks a lot, and see you again. Bye.